We're finishing up there, page 331. It says use graphing technology. If it says that, you are welcome to graph use a Desmos. Okay? Otherwise, I expect you to do it by hand so you appreciate this and you know what you're doing ahead of time. So go ahead and type this in there. Y greater than X.
That's all we have to type in?
That's all you have to type in. Okay, your computer is smart enough here to tell you that it's dotted, right? If I were to graph it by hand, remember, I would say, okay, where does X equal to Y? Well, 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, right? Do it that way. But you can just use that graph now. Dotted and shaded above, greater than. Okay, how would that differ from the second one?
It would be a solid line.
It would be a solid line, shading the same direction. Exact same equation. Now go ahead and plot that one and you can see that the only thing that changes is your dotted line. Y is less than -8. Got a guess before we type it in? There's no X there, just Y.
It's gonna be horizontal?
Horizontal line, very good. Type it in.
Me?
Yeah.
Why, thank you.
Dotted line. I'll just make a little note here that I'm going by eighths. Shaded. Below. Less than. Okay, go ahead and do the other three. Then check it with what I put on here, please. They are just sketches. If you get a little too eager to draw the lines, you forget to make them dotted. That's what I did. Both those last two should be dotted.
Yeah, thank you. Choose instrument.
Believe it. That is my one mistake for the year.
You've
You've done
done
it before.
I have done that before?
Yeah.
Well, the other ones were just to check to make sure
And you had to do it.
you understood.
You had to do it over again.
Remember?
With a black pen.
That was just to make sure you understood.
So that was your only mistake of the year.
Yeah, the other ones were on purpose. All right, so that's easy, right? Graph it, use Desmos. Go to the next page.
I'm not turning it either.
Says there's a couple questions for each one here. First one, bank accounts. Here are directions. Letter A, write an inequality to describe what's going on here. Specify what your letters mean. Use graphing technology to graph. That means we are able to type it into Desmos. Sketch, like we just got done doing. Name one solution that works. Why does it work? And then answer the question. So let's do the first one together. Amy, would you read it, please?
A customer opens a checking account and savings account at a bank. They will deposit a maximum of $600. some of the checking account and some of the savings account, they might not deposit all of it, keep some of the money as cash. If the customer deposits $200 in their checking account, what can they say about the amount that they deposit in their savings account?
Okay. So first thing it said, write an inequality, specify the variables. I'm just gonna use X and Y. X is savings account, Y is, or X is checking, Y is savings. So my inequality, how do I show maximum of 600? Greater than, less than, equal to,
Less than,
can it equal 600?
it cannot.
It can. Maximum of 600 means it can include 600. So there is my inequality. Graph it. Type it in. Type it in Desmos. All right, remember the X is amount in checking, that was my X, so I labeled the bottom of my graph that. Y is amount in savings.
Is it on the bottom, I like where the numbers are?
Yeah, I'd probably go by what, hundreds?
Yeah.
100, 200, 400, 600, 800, I know it's going to that point. Do the same the other way, 200, 400, 600, 800. Solid line. Above it or below it?
Below.
Below. Okay, part C says pick a point. Bless you. Pick a point. That is a solution. So give me a point in the shaded region.
100.
200, 100. Explain what it means in this problem. What's the 200 represent?
$200 in your checking account, I'm gonna go into your savings.
There you go. Only possible answer?
No.
No, plenty. All right, final question D, it says answer the question about the situation. So the actual question, now that the problem was asking, Amy read, if the customer deposits 200 in their checking, what can you say about the amount they deposited in their savings?
600.
What do you mean minimum balance?
Or never mind.
Customer puts 200 in their checking account, what can you say about what's in their savings?
Less than 400.
Yeah, it's 400 or less, right? Max of 600. So what can I say? $400 or less in savings. Yeah, so I can't just pick a number because that would just be a guess, but I do know it's 400 or less because it's got to equal 600. That's a max. Question number 2. Bank requires a minimum balance of $50 in the savings account. It does not matter how much money is left in the checking. Anything works into checking.
But does it have to be under 600 still?
I think this is just a complete new problem.
Okay.
So no maximum. So I'm still going to use X and Y. So this would be checking account. This would still be savings account. Probably should go by 50s now based on how the question is worded.
Do we have to make our equation first?
Oh yes, we forgot about the equation. So savings, is that my X or my Y?
X, or I mean Y.
My Y, so I'm gonna use Y here. Minimum of 50. How do I show minimum of 50?
Greater than, or, yeah, greater than or equal to.
What's my graph gonna look like?
Wait, that's all, there's no X.
No X, doesn't matter what the X is.
Oh, then it's gonna be a horizontal line.
Gonna be a horizontal line at 50.
At 50.
And everything above it will work. Pick a point, say what it means. Let's pick 100, 100. $100 into checking and savings. Now let's answer the question. If the customer deposits no money in the checking account but is able to maintain both accounts without penalty, what can you say that about the amount deposited in the savings account? The customer deposits at least $50. Doesn't even matter about anything other than that. Can certainly do more, but you have to have a $50 minimum. All right, question continuing on the next page. Concert tickets. Looks like you have lawn tickets. Let's use L for that.
What about X and Y?
Sure, you can use X and Y too. I'm using S for seat tickets. Okay, why don't you see if you can answer that one by yourself. So write the inequality, graph it, pick a point, answer the question.
Is L gonna be the X coordinate, or is S?
I put L, I already labeled it lawn up there.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Anybody confident in their inequality? Go ahead.
L plus S less than 400.
Fewer than 400 tickets were sold. Dotted line, because it cannot include 400. Anything down here would be fine. Anybody got a point in that area?
200, 100.
200, 100. That would be a point in that shaded region. That, of course, just means 200 lawn tickets and 100 seat tickets. If you know that exactly 100 lawn tickets were sold, what could you say about the number of seat tickets?
It has to be less than or equal to 299. Because it can't be 300.
So what if we just say it's less than 300? Seat tickets would have to be less than 300. Cannot be equal to 300. Fewer than 300 seat tickets were sold. However you'd like to phrase that. All right, lawn tickets cost $30 each. Actually, why don't you just try that one?
When it's an at least number, does it have an equal to?
At least means it's that one or more. Oh, greater than. Or more. I want to make that or more. All right, so there is my equation, or inequality. So lawn tickets, let's see, what would give me $14,000 if I sold all lawn tickets? About 460. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 460 would be about there. How many $50 tickets would I sell for 14,000? 280.
Yeah.
Went by 50s on that side. Connect the line. Shade above or below? Above. Pick a point. That will work. Not Georgia.
Wait, how much was, the lawn ticket?
To 466 or something.
Okay.
Somebody pick a point. Tim, pick a point.
600, 500.
600, 500. That'd be 600 lawn tickets. 500 seat tickets. If you know exactly 200 seats were sold, what can you say about the lawn tickets? Well, how much are 200 seat tickets worth?
400.
200 times 50, right? That's $10,000. So that means I still have 4,000 to make. So how many lawn tickets in order to make at least $4,000?
133.
4,000 divided by 30 is 133.3 repeating. So I need to sell 134 lawn tickets or more. Suppose you technically could have said greater than 133 as well. Or greater than or equal to 134. Because 133 doesn't work and you're not going to sell a third of a ticket or a third of a seat. Good. There is another example on page 342. Exactly the same thing. I don't think we need to go through another one. Also some in your summary there for you as well. So let's take a peek at the homework. Page 346. Kind of browse through that, see if you see anything that doesn't make sense. Nothing really stood out to me. Again, if it says use graphene technology, you can do so. I think I'll just go ahead and let you get started on that. 10 questions. Again, if it says using graphene technology, use. Otherwise, please do it by hand. You can certainly check if you'd like with Desmos, but your work should still be shown then of how you got your answer. So go ahead and get started, page 346.